But I feel like gelatin is like not worth the effort to, if something is gross in the gelatin, just scrap the whole thing. You're not missing out.
Well, this is deliberate. Like they deliberately put a spider in the gelatin.
If they deliberately put a spider in the gelatin, I would never associate with them. You don't just scrap the gelatin at that point, you scrap the friendship.
What you know how people do that? They do like those jalapeno things where everybody sort of eats something. They're like, "Oh, this is a chicken nugget," but one of them's a jalapeno or something to like screw with people. What if instead it's like, all right, one of you guys, the rest of you guys have chicken nuggets. One of you guys has a spider.
Gee, I can't tell which one's which.
Is it the obvious spider-shaped one?
No. That's the thing. That's how you get people. You shape one chicken nugget like a spider, and then you shape the spider like a chicken nugget, and then you fry all of them. And then someone's in for a bad day.
Someone's smart like, well, I'm not going to pick the spider one, and then they grab the real spider one.
And somehow the spider is still alive, so like as soon as they bite into it, the spider just comes out and latches onto their face. Well, Stanley thought it'd be fucking funny to diss on my cloaking abilities. Guess I'll just hide the spider as a chicken nugget. And then Stanley has a bad day, because fuck Stanley.
Oh, hi there. Didn't see ya.
We were just talking about putting spiders in things, as we always do.
Yeah, we were just talking about eating the spiders.
Like, people will think that's a joke. It's kind of not a joke. I feel like
we talk about eating spiders a lot.
Yeah. I hate spiders, and I still engage in conversations about eating spiders.
Because eventually, at one point, like the goal of this podcast is to get Ian to eat a lot of spiders on it.
I like how it's not just a spider. The goal is just a lot of spiders.
Just a lot of them. The number isn't set. We'll know when we hit it. We'll know when we're like, all right, this is definitely a lot.
This is a lot of spiders. We've hit it. We've hit our goal.
It'll be at the point where we're like, even now, we're like, okay, this is too many.
Take away a couple of these spiders, it's too many.
It's just a lot of spiders.
It's just a lot of spiders. But this isn't a spider podcast, despite popular belief.
Yeah, it's true. We didn't take the spider isekai show.
I forgot that was a thing.
That is, and it's this season.
People like it.
Aoyuki is the spider.
I feel like we've talked before about someone we know who's super into Aoyuki, but I don't remember if it was here or somewhere else.
I must have been somewhere else because I can't think of anybody we know personally. Like we both know.
I know. It's a Discord friend is super into Aoyuki. And he's very degenerate. And he's super into Aoyuki, and these are the two things I know about him.
And now she's a spider, so he's probably super into spiders.
Now he would probably eat a lot of spiders.
He would eat a lot. We gotta get him on here so you guys can eat a lot of spiders together.
It doesn't even save me. Bringing him into the punishment doesn't save me from having to eat spiders. It just includes someone else on it.
In fact, we have to get even more spiders because now both people have to eat what we consider to be a lot of spiders.
The spider bar has raised because now we're not just getting spiders for one person, we're getting them for a lot of people.
I wonder how expensive that is to get that many spiders.
I honestly don't know.
Because as gross as it is, that's technically that's a niche product.
I know there are like food bugs out there, but I don't know if there are food spiders that you can buy for like lizards and shit.
Hachima did a video where she ate a spider, and they actually sell it, at least on Japanese Amazon. You can buy a spider, but it only comes with one.
You know what? She did eat a spider. She did cook and eat a spider.
Yes, and apparently it was pretty solid.
Yeah, they have very hard carapaces
And they're all dried out, too, because obviously, they're dried before they're sent off, so they're probably even harder.
Yeah.
Because they basically get pruned.
That seems just wholly unpleasant.
To be fair, spiders drink, they basically prune you by drinking your insides, so you know what? Fair is fair.
Fair is fair.
Thinking about that, they don't do that. The spider has never drank a person's insides because they can't. So technically, they have never done that to us, except in movies where they're giant, but those aren't real.
So that's just us kind of being like an asshole. Like, how do you feel about it, Spider? How do you like this?
I've never done this to you. Stop.
There's nothing more human than...
I've literally kept your house bug-free.
There is nothing more human that I can think of than killing an animal in the way that that animal uses to hunt, even though it doesn't hunt humans. Just to be a dick. How do you like it, nature? Also, speaking of Hachima, what's the... You've been keeping up with what's going on?
Yeah, I've been keeping up with that. I don't know. It is quite the art project.
Cool. Because I was kind of hoping you would have some kind of insight, because I don't. And I
don't think I can.
I don't think anyone can at this point. I think we're just going to have to wait and see.
She just wants to join EN.
She just wants to join EN, and she's going to be very crazy.
She already is very crazy.
Yeah, but it feels like things are escalating, or maybe it's just because they have an outlet. It's just focused now.
And it is getting pretty weirder now. It is getting substantially weirder. Within the past 2 months, we've had the spider, scorpion. Then now it's all the horror stuff.
Yeah, didn't she
decapitate herself? Yep.
Yeah.
Kudos though.
I mean, that's some art house shit.
Mm.
She is something else. Good on her, I guess. Doing what no one else is doing.
That's the only thing I'm worried about is people trying to new people coming into the company seeing her and going, I gotta try to top that.
You can't.
No one needs to top that. No one even needs to compete.
It could be argued that it didn't need to be done in the first place.
Unless someone comes in and they eat a lot of spiders.
They just eat a lot of spiders.
Is this how... incredible amount.
Is this how I get into HoloLive? I just eat a lot of spiders?
You show up and you go, I can eat a spider. And they're like, we already have someone that can do that. And you tell them, no, I can eat a lot of spiders.
I show up to the HoloLive offices and I just have a bowl of spiders. And they're like, what's with that bowl? And I just start eating them.
You just snack on it like it's popcorn.
I just start munching down on some 8-legged freaks until they're like, fine, you're in. Just stop eating the spiders.
And you look at them and you go, I can't. It's been too long now. It's too late for me.
If I can't finish the bowl, no one can finish the bowl. That shows dedication.
That does.
Kind of like sitting down every week to record a special podcast with my good buddy Alex called The Protagonist Seat, in which we watch...
We are dedicated.
Yes, in which we watch up to 5 shows every week. I say up to because we cut one last week, so it's not 5 anymore.
Sometimes it can be 6 if something drags over from one season to another.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't have to be.
Exactly. We are as free as the flowing river when it comes to our format.
But Otherside Picnic.
Yes.
Otherside Picnic is a show that every week is just about something weird and different.
Like Ninja Cats.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the title for this episode when I was going to watch it, and immediately was like, okay.
Yeah. I feel
First,
like
you had my curiosity. Now, you have my attention.
They certainly pulled out a much more interesting one than the beach episode this week.
The weirdest thing about this show, which I don't like it mostly because I'm like, is that even a thing? All of these urban myths they pull out, I saw that on the internet, and I'm like, really?
Some of them
Ninja
are.
cats?
This one, I don't know. I kind of wonder if they just ran out of stuff a couple episodes ago, and they're like, fuck it. Whatever, we'll make it's fine. Just put it in.
I want to talk about the part where they ordered the tobacco farming machine.
Because they thought it would help them traverse the other side.
Because I think they were drunk or something when they bought it. First of all,
definitely.
I imagine that is a specialty farming tool. That is probably a very expensive thing.
Yeah, I don't think you can just go and get drunk and order expensive farming equipment.
Also, I don't imagine there's a lot of tobacco farms in Japan, so that thing probably needed to be imported.
Yeah, I don't think Japan has a whole lot of suitable climate for tobacco farming. But what do I know?
All I'm saying is it bothered me because it's probably really expensive and it's logistically difficult to get there. So again, probably even more expensive. Imagine shipping that thing.
I'd rather not. Because that's expensive. Also, I don't know how you're gonna get that, like, to first, like, you couldn't just order like, yeah, you couldn't order like a bike or something. You couldn't just go out.
Why, out of all things, a tobacco farming machine?
It's probably not even gonna go that fast.
No, because why would it need to? It's farm.
It doesn't. Is like, as soon as they were like, yeah, it's farming equipment, I was like, that thing's gonna be slow as shit. Have you ever seen farming equipment? It goes so slow. You'd be better off just riding a bicycle.
Again, and it was probably so expensive. Just the equipment alone, having to import it from another country, get it shipped there. How is that not something they noticed? Because they were like, oh yeah, I forgot we ordered that. It's like, did you not look at your bank account?
I guess not. They must be getting
several $1,000s.
They must be getting bank by selling weird shit to like the girl in the chair. Because holy shit.
Also, where does she get her money? She doesn't do anything.
She sits in her chair and has a pet raccoon now.
A tanuki. I think it's a stuffed animal.
I don't know. I can't really tell. But whatever, it's probably not important because it doesn't pertain to the main characters.
Oh, and the girl we meet this week that's like, don't worry, I know a little bit of karate. She knows a lot of karate.
Yeah, I don't know how she justified
a little bit of karate.
That is a little bit when she did fucking cartwheel kicks on that ninja cat. But whatever.
She stopped its sword with just a single kick.
They never taught me that in karate.
That's all I'm saying. They taught me basically what to do if someone grabs you, and that's about it.
I mean, in your case, just be bigger than they are. It's not very hard.
I'm pretty tall, plant your feet. Good. So I already got the tactical advantage.
Anyone who tries to flip you is impractical. It's impractical at that point.
Unless it's Ivan Drogo, it's pretty impractical.
All right, so I guess this week's weird, obscure reference is going to be to Rocky.
I don't know. I don't think Rocky's that obscure. I feel like Rocky is a pretty referenced movie.
Yeah, generally not when you're talking about an anime about two college girls who go around shooting things in an alternate dimension. Generally not. But they don't shoot anything because the cats
they shoot at the cats, but
the
cats are faster or whatever. And then after they figure out that the secret was that the charm is what's causing them to attack her, but it's inside her for some reason. I don't know. Logic's kind of weird in this show.
It's like she was given the karate girl was given a weird charm by Satsuki, because I guess Satsuki is going to be the bad guy.
I pretty much figured that a while ago.
Yeah.
It's going to be, all this weird stuff is tied to this one person who is going around doing all of that.
Who'd have thunk it? But basically, the charm implants itself inside a karate girl. And then the cats were after karate girl. And then they fought the cats in the other side. And then got rid of the charm, and it doesn't matter. Now it's fine.
Everything's fine. And now she's just going to keep cool about the fact that they use guns and go to the other side. So she's probably going to be a recurring side character now.
She is in the OP, and we have only just met her in episode 7, 8?
Yep, and so we're probably going to also see who else is in the OP with her. Some sort of, it looks like a mechanic.
Hey, someone's got to maintain that farming equipment.
That's true, and they got to figure out how to, because they're not going to introduce the tobacco machine without having it probably be relevant, so they're probably going to take it to the other side.
I would hope so.
And then they're going to be like, wow, this thing is slow.
This thing is slow and awful and is garbage and is really kind of impractical for what we want it for. Because it turns out specialized farming equipment is meant for one singular purpose. A hay baler bales hay. A tobacco farming machine is for farming tobacco.
It should have like a dune buggy or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And it would also suit their purposes much better. Because dune buggies are made to go over rough terrain. Farming equipment is not. That shit is blocky and will fall over.
Yeah, it goes through flat fields. That's it.
If you go over a rock wrong, you could tip it.
You could tip it.
Farming equipment's dangerous. That's why I'm not a farmer.
It was your calling, but you just can't get over that terrible accident that happened.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be a great farmer like my old man. But then it happened.
I mean, my old man's not a farmer, though. At least not as far as I know. He's never mentioned it. I'm pretty sure he's not a farmer.
It's going to turn into Harvest Moon, where you're going to get like a letter one day being like, Ian, I'm leaving my entire farm to you. It's now your job to take care of it. Goodbye.
What an inconvenience. That would be I would be pissed if someone sent me a letter and was like, here's my farm. Now you have to take care of it.
I'm your long lost grandfather. Here's my farm. Take care of it for me. Goodbye. And then you get there and it's in a complete state of disrepair.
I don't know shit about farming.
Don't worry. There's either a book I left on farming, or there's some old dude that hangs out over there that goes, hey, I knew your grandpa. Here's my advice on how to farm.
Why don't I just sell the farm to that guy then? He seems creepy.
No, you can't sell it to anybody because it's your special farm. You can't sell it to any of the big wigs too, like the big city guys that come in.
I'm just gonna call Moderna and be like, man, I don't know shit about shit when it comes to farming. Can you please take this off my hands? But I won't phrase it like that because I really want to fleece them because I know they can afford it.
Of course.
I said Moderna, and I think I mixed them up with another company because there's another one. And I don't know where to start Googling what the real company is. So I guess I'm just going to sell my farm to a pharmaceutical company.
Are you thinking Monsanto?
Yes, Monsanto.
Aren't they super evil or something?
Yeah, but they're the only ones I could think of.
Guess they're going to the evil GMO guys.
I mean, GMOs are freaking harmless.
Yeah, although I guess they they do a lot of pollution in South America and stuff with pesticides or whatever.
And they also have a habit of spreading their seeds in other fields and then suing people for stealing their seeds. That's a sketchy thing.
That is a pretty dick move. And then they apparently bully other farmers to sell.
Yeah, Monsanto sucks, which is why I'm going to take them for all they're worth.
No, that's why you're going to build the best farm ever to compete with them.
And then they're going to try and bully me, and I'm going to have my special turnip assassins take out their salesmen. I don't know what a turnip assassin is, but I'm assuming you can grow one in the field. Otherwise, how would your farm protect itself?
Instead of Harvest Moon, now it's Rune Factory.
Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
We got monsters.
Turns out the true monsters were man.
The true monsters were whoever made X-Arm.
For fucking real, though? It is.
We actually have different lighting this episode. Dark.
Yeah. And it's worse. I feel like every time we complain about something, in the next episode, they make it worse.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you thought that was bad? Well, check this out.
You ain't seen nothing yet. That's
pretty neat that the combo, the two new characters, the Arab dude and the little brother, are voiced by Gilgamesh and Enkidu. That's kind of neat.
Yeah. They're a good combo, except they're bad guys.
Arguably, Gilgamesh and Enkidu are kind of bad guys.
That's fair. Gilgamesh is not a nice guy, but he does okay things.
Dude, blew my mind this episode. When they're in the fight scene with that guy,
and all of a sudden he's fucking naked?
Yeah, first of all, that was something. But I checked. That's the same area they're fighting in as from the OP and when they fought the maid. That's the same spot. They were in like a hotel hallway before, and then after they cut to this place, and I could tell, I'm like, that's the same railing. That's the same flooring, the same wall. They're in the same spot. They were like, all right, fight scene time. We're just going to cut to this area because we're more comfortable with using it, I guess.
No fucking way.
Yep, it's the same place.
They couldn't even make a second fighting arena. Oh my god. I didn't even notice that. But now that I know that, well, I didn't notice it because they freaking made the episode pitch black. But now that I know that, I'm more upset.
It's the same exact place, just with no lighting whatsoever.
Wow. How do you cover up your laziness? You take the lights away. It's the perfect plan.
Because the place they were at before did not have a railing.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, this is the spot from the OP. This is just the same location that they fought the android.
This should not surprise us. I think
this dude goes from having clothes to having no clothes to then immediately having a whole different set of clothing. Like his tactical gear.
I found that the thing that I say the most when I watch this show is, wow, this would look kind of cool if this wasn't awful. Because, like, I think the Arab guy's tactical outfit is kind of cool. He's all gussied up like Snake.
I just realized, I don't know why this just hit me. I realized why they didn't show him change.
Because they couldn't animate it?
No, because when he's wearing his Arab clothing, he's drawn in 2D, but he's 3D when he's just naked with the tattoos. It's two different models.
Oh my fucking god, how did I not notice that?
Yeah, he's just drawn regularly, and then after, he has a 3D model. So he can do the action scenes.
Jesus. I was so stunned by just the baffling bullshit of this episode that I didn't even notice that. Oh my god. They got me.
I forget if he's 3D or 2D when he's in his tactical gear. Just because that's how good they blended in.
I think he's 3D.
Yeah, I think he's just 3D after. Because I think he's going to fight in that, probably.
Oh, definitely. He's just going to be... I think he's just going to be 3D from now on.
Yeah. But for some reason, they didn't do that in the last episode, where they had him appear as a 2D character. For some reason. It's like you guys couldn't just put him in a turban?
No. I don't know, maybe they were like, we can make 2 models for this character. So
Even
you
though
guys
most
have
other
to pick
characters
one.
really should have a second model besides this guy who's just going to be a one-off villain.
Yeah. Police Girl has a second outfit in this episode, and that impressed me. I was stunned.
Except for the part where she ended up leaving. He's like, you could see it. If you saw the look on her face, you would know. And I'm like, what look?
Blank?
Yeah. Blank, emotionless stare?
I understand what the script was going for. The art department could not match up.
I think it was the it wasn't the art department, it was the CG programmers.
Yeah. Whoever on the animating team was like, this is fine. And it's not fine. They couldn't even furrow her eyebrows in a real shitty manner like they did a couple episodes ago when they were in the virtual world. Like, I want to say shit pops off, but it doesn't. Because, like, everything is limp. All the action is limp. Because we get the big buff guy with the eyeglasses on the police team fights the Russian dude, who I'm pretty sure is just the exact same base model with different skin and different hair and an eye patch. Oh, and also creepy Russian girl with her fucking bugs, which don't do anything, by the way. She uses her bugs to attack the cop guy at one point, and he doesn't even react. And I'm like, wow, way to make this character totally non-threatening.
Yeah, like the part with the bees, they're essentially, you can tell, are on 2 different layers.
Oh, it's awful. It's definitely, they did not do their, I don't, like it's almost like they put a shitty filter on, like that stupid smoke that they use every episode. Because guess what? The smoke comes back too. Because Cop Dude has a rocket launcher.
The smoke is like always there, and I'm pretty sure that at this point, I think that they turned on the filter and they don't know how to get rid of it.
Someone was doing the shot and he was like, I don't know how to take the filter off. It's just dude, look at the effects panel. It's not in the effects panel. I can't see it in there. Fine.
Well, we don't have time. Just leave it.
It's fine. We'll say it's a smoky, dust-filled battle arena. Whatever.
Yeah,
no one cares.
It adds ambience. Whatever.
It adds ambience. Ugh. Yeah, it's all garbage. Also, Yug, the weird pink-haired girl who's obsessed.
She was a computer program, but she shows up.
Yeah, I think she is. I think she's a supercomputer, but they have not explained why she is a physical form yet.
Also, Alma got hacked or something. They redid her AI, so now she's one of the bad guys. But when did that happen?
I genuinely don't know. Like, I have no idea, because she also has another arm. So, like, in one day, they put a new arm on her, lost her, and then she got hacked by the bad guys. And she has a new outfit now, because she's evil. So, I don't know.
Yeah. And the fight this episode was pretty bad, too. With the Mad Max looking guy.
The Mad Max looking guy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I felt bad for him.
Yeah, they loaded him up with drugs or something, but it's shot so terribly that it makes no sense.
The 17th century pirates, the pirate vampires, load up that poor asshole with drugs and then give him an X-arm and are like, all right, go fight now.
And they stop the sound for some reason, even though it really doesn't, like, it doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to affect anyone in any way whatsoever.
Because the Arab dude's like, I'm a man of the desert. I could sense you by your smell.
Because there's no smells in the desert, I guess. Is that a thing?
I've never been to a desert, so I can't really back up that claim.
I don't have enough proof to say it's false, but it feels like bullshit.
It does.
But they kick the shit out of the drugged up dude, which is
You know what? I feel like the desert has to have a scent because, like, you know, when you're at the beach, even though obviously the ocean's very powerful, you can almost get the scent of sand. Sand has a scent.
Yeah, sand definitely has a scent. But
I'm assuming a desert would smell like a dry and like musty basement.
I don't know, because it seems well ventilated.
The
So would
desert?
it really? Yeah, because it's like out in the open. So like, would it really be musty?
That's true. Yeah, I feel like it would just smell like, I don't know.
It's gotta
It would
have a
smell like
scent.
the beach without the ocean. Just sandy. It would smell like a sandbox.
Yeah, we gotta
Those have
go.
scents.
We gotta go to the Earth sandbox. But I don't. I question the bad guy's plan just at the base level because that's like giving that dude an X arm is like giving a crackhead a super weapon and being like, all right, go do the assassination.
Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't just do something that important yourself.
Because I don't know. Because he doesn't have a 3D model, I guess.
Yeah,
It's a lot of questions.
a lot of questions in this show. I try not to ask too many deep ones because the plot doesn't matter to me.
We're too far gone from the plot for it to matter.
It's
Like
so poorly executed that doesn't really matter. I'm here for the technical aspects.
Yeah, there is so much to question about all of the technical aspects. Cuz I'm not an artist and I will never claim to be an artist. But like a lot of this shit seems kind of basic. I feel like I could get more of the fundamentals of art than most of these people.
Yeah, this is a whole team of people, and I've seen people who just do their own creative passion projects on YouTube do way better work.
Yeah. Nothing we can do about it. It's baffling and it's kind of fun to talk about.
It is. You know what's fun for me to talk about?
Dr. Stone?
No, Final Fantasy 14. You
I
didn't think I
tried.
would forget.
I didn't.
Of course, I would not forget about Final Fantasy 14, a game that has several different classes, and we're even getting a new one, which may or may not be a scythe user. We don't know yet. We'll find that out in May. But
I
that would
hope
be
it
cool.
is. Sides are cool.
Yeah. People are thinking the name of it's going to be Reaper or Ravager.
Both of those are very good.
Everyone's assuming that's what it's going to be because Yoshi P, the director of the game, he always teases new jobs with the shirts that he wears. And he wore 3 shirts during that announcement stream. And for 2 of them, they had a Grim Reaper on it. So it's got to be a scythe.
What a baller. That's a lot of work. Well, not like a lot of work.
He changes shirts constantly. When he announced Samurai, he wore a Spider-Man shirt to announce that. Because the specific reasoning was he's like, I like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, but I guess with a Japanese accent, Sam Raimi sounds like samurai.
Samuraimi. I could see that.
Yeah. And that was how he teased Samurai was going to be a job.
So, like, if that was how he teased Samurai, how can we know that the Grim Reaper shirts are teasing a reaping scythe-wielding class? Or it could just be, like, something other that's a little bit more esoteric.
He showed off the healer. The only thing he confirmed about the new class is it's going to be a melee DPS, and it's going to share its gear with Dragoon, whose Dragoons are basically Lancers. So it's got to be a polearm of some sort.
Polearms are cool.
It could be a scythe, it could be a hammer. Just not a spear, because that's the Dragoon's thing.
That makes sense.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be a scythe. Because hammer doesn't really seem to fit what they're trying to do.
Do you think they'll ever make a hammer class?
I don't know, because people want one called like Templar or something. We have Paladin, so I don't really know what you would do with that, but whatevs.
They'll think of something.
We could use another dagger class because there's no one that shares gear with Ninja.
I wouldn't want to share gear with Ninja. That dude seems like kind of a tool.
Yeah, not Ninja, not the Ninja, not the Ninja that said that Demon Slayer was the greatest anime ever made.
Did he actually say that?
He tweeted that when that episode that made everybody like the show came out.
Ninja's kind of a tool. I believe he was also the one who was like, if you don't get angry after losing matches, then you're not playing games right.
Yeah, I can't say I'm into the big Twitch streamers.
I like some of them. Not, you know what? I don't like MLG streamers, I don't think. I don't think I'm into the MLG folks. Those guys tend to be kind of...
Oh, yeah, he's an MLG guy, and his thing is it's Fortnite, right? That's his big game.
I think so. I know that's where he got his start. I don't know if it's still his thing.
Bro, that's a kid's game. Calm down.
He's going to be styling on... He's going to be styling on children and then telling more so in the sense of like, they need to get mad.
Yeah, you should be mad. It's like how I feel about the competitive Smash Bros community. It's like, guys, you all need to calm down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys, everyone Melee just came out almost 20 years ago.
Everyone just needs to chill. Although they keep announcing more. One of the streamers I watch who is not into anime at all was talking about their two newest characters they announced for Smash, and he was talking to his like super dadly friends about it, and he was like, the two new characters are, and this is what chat has told me, big titty anime waifus. So that was fun.
They are. They're from the They're from like one of the Xenoblade sequels or something, or Xenogears. I don't know. They're from the same series as Shulk.
Yeah, Xenos.
I have Zunos. My Final Fantasy 14 guild, a couple of members really like that series.
I've heard it's good.
I have heard it's good too. It's just like, I don't want to play. I gotta play other JRPGs first. And
those, I think, take like a long time.
They're very long.
I've realized I don't have the time for like a long RPG anymore.
Yeah, which is why you should definitely play Final Fantasy 14. It's only an MMO.
If they ever made another Persona game, I would probably not play it.
Oh, I would still play it.
I wouldn't be able to finish it. And because like I think Persona 5 came out at the perfect time for me, because that was right at the end when I was able to just like really dedicate my time and energy to finishing a 200-hour RPG. Now I don't have the time.
I could do it. It would just have to be something I would really want to do. Because think about just all the time you spend playing the other games, just junk those other games for like 3 weeks.
I don't know if I have that in me. I like all my games too much.
But yeah, I'm saying, like, for example, if a new Persona game came out, I like that series enough that I would actually be like, all right, I'm not going to play anything else for a bit.
That's true. The Persona series is almost 100% guaranteed certified fresh.
Yeah. I still like 4 the best.
I still haven't even, like, I bought 4 and I still haven't touched it yet.
Did you buy it on Steam? Because it's on Steam now.
I did. That was the impetus of me buying it, is like, hey, this is accessible to me now.
Yeah, the PS Vita has no reason to exist anymore.
We have made the PS Vita obsolete. Much like the Nintendo Switch has made the Nintendo Wii U obsolete.
We have made the PS Vita obsolete. Much like how the PS Vita made the PS Vita obsolete.
You're not wrong.
Honestly, I have one. It was a really good piece of hardware. It was really good. It was really interesting. It's just they didn't make games for it.
That's a shame.
It's like, hey, honestly, I compare it to the Dreamcast. It was a really good piece of hardware that had a lot of potential that just wasn't utilized by the company that made it.
It's like they have a cash cow on their hands, and they're just letting it sit out back, chill, and just rot away.
They're like, all right, we'll put an Uncharted game on here, and then the rest of it will just be ports of Japanese games.
That's a very narrow audience, especially at the time that the PS Vita came out.
Yeah, it was essentially the Weeb game machine, but it wasn't even like the best ones, you know what I mean? It was a lot of just kind of side stuff. Ugh. It was interesting being a part of the community, though, just because people would be excited for anything coming out for it. So I feel like any game that did come out on the Vita had a fan base for it. It's just, you know, because it was like, hey, this is the only thing you can play on here right now. This is the only game that came out this month for it.
That makes sense.
And that was around the time I started to notice visual novels being more localized here, because they were like, well, no one's going to play these but people who own a Vita, so might as well just port it to the PS Vita. Just make a visual novel for it and localize it.
That's smart.
Now I've noticed, actually, the Switch is kind of getting a lot of visual novels.
Really?
Yeah.
I have one of those, so I should look into that.
You have a Switch?
I do.
I did not know you had a Switch.
It's a Switch Lite that I bought off Nick.
Right. I have a Switch normal that I bought off Nick.
Cool. We bought both of these off of Nick, so Nick has none now.
No, he got another one, I think. He got a regular one because his family uses it to play like Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing's pretty good.
This is what Nick does. Nick will buy a console, sell it, buy it again, sell it, buy it again, and he'll do this several times throughout the console generation because he's insane.
Yes. That's just accurate.
Actually, all my consoles that I currently have besides my PS3, I bought from someone else.
You've got, what have you got? What's your loadout looking like?
So I had an Xbox One that I never used, but then I sold it to Devin, who then had to pay Addison for it.
And then never used it.
Yep. And then I got my Switch from Nick. My PS4 I got from David, who was like, hey, I'll sell this to you for like $170 back at the time. Like, this was like 5 or 6 years ago, so that was pretty good.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, the only thing is just I get to borrow it back when Red Dead comes out. And I was like, definitely, like a liar.
And
then never did that.
That's the smart move.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. You can borrow this when Red Dead 2 comes out. He knew, though. He had to have known way past the point because he never asked me. I'm pretty sure he got his own another one like later on.
Definitely.
But yeah.
That's not bad.
In summary, Final Fantasy XIV, you can play it on PS4 and PS5. Get it. Moving on.
Dr. Stone?
Dr. Stone, I feel bad. I feel like Dr. Stone gets slept on.
Yeah, I don't see like buzz or anything about it anywhere.
So the Crunchyroll Anime Awards happened, and you'll never guess which one.
I don't remember, to be totally honest.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh yeah, that series is pretty cool.
Yeah, but it's not even done. It had like 17 episodes so far.
And I would not have given it the tippity top because I personally think Eizouken was better.
That's the thing. I've noticed what's going to be the show that wins. Same with like My Hero Academia. It's just going to be whatever's the flashiest shonen, like the best, most well animated shonen that has the prettiest fights.
Yeah, I'll give them that.
Because now that's selling gangbusters.
That award.
It's just like, hey, it looks nice, but I'm like, they're all pretty bog standard.
Jujutsu Kaisen
like, they're fine. I'm not gonna say like they're bad or anything. They're just kind of like they're all right. If it wasn't as, good looking as it was, it wouldn't get the buzz though.
Jujutsu Kaisen is weird because like, I think out of all of the main characters in the show, there's one character, whenever he fights, it is just the most beautiful, prettiest, like, hypest shit ever. And then everyone else just kind of fights in well-animated sequences. But his are like, over the top. And it's the teacher. The teacher's fights are always like they have got some kind of weird, beautiful visual effect on them. And he has the prettiest eyes out of everyone.
I'm just like thinking, imagine if all these shows were done by Studio Dean or something, if they would get even half the sort of press that they get.
Probably not.
Because Demon Slayer blew up after that one episode. Like, yeah. It's the episode. The one that made everyone care.
And then, like, nothing happens after that episode, too, which is weird.
No. But that's so insane that because of that one episode, the series outsold One Piece.
Yeah. That's shocking. Just because of One Piece is the giant.
Because we watched it on the show. We even cut Demon Slayer because it was just very painfully average.
Yeah, it is very average until like that one arc, and then that one arc is pretty good.
It peaks there and then goes, what? Does it peak there and then go back to just being like, this is okay?
Yeah, it's not like painfully average like the start of it is, but it's right around there. Because like, I literally, it's the spiders arc. The spiders on the mountain arc is pretty cool because the enemies are very interesting, and you've got like more demon slayers who are getting fucking super shreked, and it's cool. It's a lot of cool fights. I cannot remember a single thing that happens after that arc besides Tanjiro goes and meets the Hashira. That's it. That's all I can remember that happens after that.
He meets all the sword Shinigamis from Bleach.
Yeah. Like, no joke. That's what it is.
I don't like shitting on the show because it's more like I could see why someone would like it. I think it's perfectly fine. I just don't think it's that good.
It's overrated.
I don't think it's the best like seller of all time worthy.
Definitely not.
Yeah, I think it's fine. It's just more. I'm just blown away because I'm like, it's fine. Why is it going above One Piece all of a sudden?
Yeah, it's a fine show. The thing that bothers me is that it's like held so high above everything else when it's like, it's okay.
And the reason I'm stating all of this is because it is a Shonen Jump series. Both of these series, Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer, are both Shonen Jump. And Dr. Stone is also Shonen Jump. And I feel like Dr. Stone is a very interesting, well-done show. And it just doesn't get the same kind of love.
I think plot-wise, Dr. Stone is a lot more interesting than both of them.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It doesn't have, like, spectacular fight scenes.
That's true.
It's not about that.
It's about science. And one man's love for science.
And this was a cool episode because we kind of get set up to the hearing archer guy and how, like, as we figured and how they kind of foreshadowed, he's actually on the good guy side. He was the one that slipped Chrome the battery.
We called it.
And they've used, like, their plan, that the Americans are coming to save them to get a bunch of people to join their side.
And naturally,
find out that Tsukasa really isn't going to be the big bad. You can tell it's going to be Hyuga, the spear guy, who doesn't actually give a shit about anyone but himself.
Yeah, Hyuga is a literal villain, not even an idealistic one. He's just all about Hyuga.
Because Tsukasa thinks the cop guy died because he ran away and told his subordinates to tell him that he was dead. He's like,
I actually thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah. I thought he didn't believe it, but he's actually like broken up about it. Like, oh, this is very sad.
Yeah, he's crushed. And he goes with like the piece of stone that used to cover his eye to the grave site. And he's like, I'm going to bury Yo next to all these other people. And he lists off the names. And Hyoga's like, who the fuck are those guys?
He's like, they're the men who died with you going to that village. And he's like, oh yeah, them.
And doesn't Ukyo know that basically he's the one who caused all those guys to die?
Yeah, because he's like, Hyoga said that you killed those people, but that doesn't add up to me, the fact that you're trying to save literally every person, because we find out Yuzuriha is essentially gluing every single person that Tsukasa destroyed back together, which just sounds like a absolutely daunting task.
She's doing it, though, and what a champ. To glue a human-sized statue back together that was smashed by the strongest man.
And I do like how, to not blow their plan, he's speaking to them in English, so no one else can understand them.
Yeah, because he kneels down to have a conversation, and him and Senku talk in English.
It's English at first, but then they switch it back to like Japanese, just because it's like you get the idea.
Yeah,
we're not going to make the actors the whole time going back and forth like, so this was your plan all along.
Even though in my heart of hearts I love Anguish more than life itself, it kind of would have been a damper on the scene.
Yeah, because they were talking about some heavy stuff. Basically, Ukyo wants it to be wants there to be no casualties whatsoever, and Senku's like, that's what we were planning to do the whole time. Instead of just an ideal, now it's going to be a requirement.
Easy. We'll just do it super good, because I'm the science man.
And they're going to siege the Miracle Cave with a tank.
Yep.
And the way they have it set up, they can actually fire one shot. They're essentially going to like burst a balloon or something inside of it.
More or less, that's basically what it is. They've got a leather diaphragm stretched over I think it might even be the engine.
Yeah, it's over like the steam vent, so it's going to obviously pop, and all that force is going to shoot it out.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
Yeah.
It's a one-time use only weapon, but they're going to have 20 seconds to seize the Miracle Cave, so like they're only going to have time for one anyway. It's cool shit. I like this show a lot. This show's really cool.
It is, and it deserves more praise.
It does. I'm bummed that no one's talking about this season, because this season is actually really good.
It is. It's got a stronger head start than the first season did. Because the first season was kind of a slow burn getting into.
There was a lot of setup for the first season and like discovery, whereas this one they can just they just build a tank in like 2 days and they skip past most of that. So it's just like, hey, we have a tank now. Here's how we built it.
Yeah.
And we got Chrome. We got some good Chrome development. You love to see it. It's good shit.
It's good shit, and it's got good characters.
Watch
Dr. Stone.
Yeah, you should watch Dr. Stone. It's good. Season 2 is very good. I have questions about Higurashi.
Just imagine you have the power to loop time. You get a second do-over, and you still manage to fuck it up.
She tried not even very hard for like 1 day to she can loop time, and
why did she need to study that hard too when she knew what was going to be on the test? That's an advantage. She could take it easier the second time around.
Holy shit, you're right.
So there's no reason for her to like have the same problems. Also, she knew how everyone at the school acted. So there was no reason for her to be like, huh, they don't like me?
I thought this time would be different, even though I did all of the same exact things.
I literally did everything the exact same way.
I did feel a little bad because Satoko at one point even like talks to Rika and is like, listen, if you go through with this, they're not going to like me, but they're going to love you, and that shit is going to be bad.
I do feel bad in the sense that Rika basically forced her dream on her. Like, hey, no, you should definitely go. I'll definitely still hang out with you. And she's like, no, she really basically said, I don't think that's for me. I don't want to do that. But she's like, no, you got to come with me.
But you got to, though. This is the go around where I was like, all right, now I'm on Satoko's side for this one.
Yeah.
Because I could understand it the first time, but this time Satoko is actually like communicating her feelings and is like, hey, I don't really think this is going to work. But she still fucks it up real hard.
Because I could understand going back, looping again, and deciding not to go. But instead she's like, no, I got to destroy your dream and make it mine. It's like,
yeah,
maybe you two should just amicably go your separate ways. That seems like the most best thing to do.
Split up, and then just you can still visit. Just still have visits. Or just make friends in Hinamizawa. You already have friends in Hinamizawa.
That was honestly the best way to go out, where she just has them get crushed by the chandelier.
Yeah.
Just all the other girls standing there like,
I kind of thought that's what she was gonna do too, because they do some ominous setup ominous foreboding shots of that chandelier. It's very good.
Also, I'd be a little iffy because she hasn't looped before yet. Because she didn't technically die, she just got sent back. She was told, yeah, if you die, the world will reset. I don't know if I'd trust that right off the bat. I'd be like, I don't know. That's what if it doesn't?
I get it, because like I also would not trust some strange otherworldly entity being like, hey man, if you die, you can reset the world to a point. I'd be like, I don't know. That feels dangerous. But I mean, like, how do you test it though?
I originally thought Featherine was going to be working with Satoko or something, but instead she more just goes, hey, what's going on here? The pact is sealed.
She also drops a lot of names at the beginning, and I was like, these feel like characters from another series that are references.
People said that it references Sakonia, which is his latest work. That's actually still being made. Like, Sakonia, I think right now only has the question arcs out. It doesn't have, like, the answer episodes. But the nice thing about Ryukishi's work is that it's super famous, so, like, he's basically, as far as the visual novel world goes, very well known. So,
makes sense.
Manga Gamer actually released Sakonia the same day as the Japanese release.
Yo, that's
which is
dope.
Pretty interesting, because as far as visual novels go, we're usually kind of, sitting around with our hands in our pockets until someone usually decides to pick it up, or even if it's an actual like company like them, it usually takes them a bit. It's not that quick.
That's tight.
Dude, we live in a good age. Because I remember you wanted to read a visual novel back in the day, you better hope someone fan translated that. And even then, that's a lot to ask for someone to do for free.
Yeah.
So the progress was always like super slow, where it's like, oh, hey, this series I wanted to read 6 years ago finally got finished.
This is the perfect time to get into visual novels.
It is. Magikoi got an official English release. I remember reading that back in the day when not even all of the routes were translated, so you had to just be like, well, you can read this girl's route and this girl's route, but not the rest of them.
Damn.
And I actually highly recommend that if you're getting into visual novels. That's a really good one. The comedy in that series is on point.
That's good to know. You want to drop the title of it again?
Magikoi. I think the subtitle of it is Oh Samurai Girls.
That's a very good subtitle. So that's an official. We can rubber stamp our seal of approval on it. Check that out if you want to get into VNs.
That is an official release. You know what still to this day does not have an official release? Fate Stay Night.
No shit.
Recently, Aniplex, though, said they were going to make a like a visual novel translation department, and I can't imagine that they're not going to release that one. Because they have all the rights to the Fate publishing. And that's something people have wanted for almost like 2 decades now.
That's something that would print money.
Also,
even like basically, any Fate fan would probably pick that up.
Even if they already read it, just to buy it, just to say, hey, finally I have this.
Exactly. This is the official one.
You know what I really want them to do, because I've already read Fate Stay Night? I want them to make their first project which I have to imagine they opened that around this time. Like, they opened it last year and said they were going to start doing that. And then at the end of the year, they announced the Tsukihime remake, which is coming out on PS4 and Switch. I hope they're working on that.
I can imagine that would probably be very popular as well.
Yeah, that people have been waiting for that longer.
Like, if they're going to open an official department and, like, actually start doing this, they should... I would be surprised if they didn't start with, like, all right, here's a list of the ones people have been waiting around for.
Also, this one is coming out. This one's coming out soon. Like, it comes out in Japan this summer, so you might as well just get working on that now so you can make it sort of a simultaneous thing.
Yeah, we got to pump this out so we can drop them both at the same time.
Because, you know, they release FGO and stuff, and you know FGO is going to have probably a Tsukihime event.
Yes, definitely.
Because they crossed over with all their other properties.
Because why not? Just cross over with everything. Who cares?
But yeah, I hope they do that. But yeah, back to Higurashi. I want to read Sakonia at some time because I want to see how it connects to this. I just was kind of waiting till it's all finished because I don't want to read the questions and be like, well, hopefully the answers come out someday.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
I'm sure the answers will come out probably. I would say probably not at the same time as the JP ones, but you know, probably fairly close to them at least.
I see people are splitting into like camps over who's in the wrong here, Rika and Satoko, and that seems stupid because it's very clear that Satoko is in the wrong.
Satoko ended up murdering someone as well as killing herself. So I'd say that pretty clearly cements her in the wrong.
Rika even said, "Yo, I tried to help you and you basically pushed me away every single time."
Yeah. Satoko shot herself in the foot again. Cuz like
basically Satoko is essentially like, I don't want you to have other friends but me. That's what it boils down to.
I'm your best friend, and your new friends don't like me, so I'm not going to hang out with anybody.
Even though I knew that, so I could have changed my behavior doing this a second time around.
I could have, instead of spending all that time trying to study for an exam I already passed, I could just work on myself. I could try and become friends with people this time. Maybe the answer does not lie in friendship with Rika. Maybe she needs to be friends with someone else. But no, fuck that.
There's so many other ways you could have done it. It's just like, just imagine that. You make the exact same mistakes knowing exactly where they lead you.
Yeah. You know that this route leads to ruin, and you're still like, well, maybe if I do it this time, it won't. Except it does. And then you make that shocked Pikachu face when eventually it leads to the exact same conclusion.
Like how? How are you still failing school? You've done it twice now.
Yeah, you should, because she has the advantage of, at this point, being able to remember everything super well. So, like, you know the answers. You know the answers. You've done them before. And you can use that to your advantage and cheat. But I guess not.
Like, yeah, just cheat.
Yeah, Satoko is not above cheating. She should just cheat harder. Just interdimensional cheating. But whatever. She has continued to shoot herself in the foot and refuses to improve herself or her situation. And instead is like, hey, if I kill myself and her at the same time, or really just myself, but...
I'm looking forward to the ending of this because I don't know how they're going to resolve that. Like, you can't go back to being friends after that.
Yeah, sorry I killed you several times.
Sorry I killed you several times in very brutal ways. Because here's the thing now. We learned that she did not in any way, shape, or form have to disembowel her.
Yeah, that was an option.
That was entirely unnecessary. That was optional. She chose to make that as terrible as possible.
She could have just, like, slit her throat in her sleep, but instead she's like, I chose to numb you and disembowel you so we could have this conversation. I think this friendship is over, and I think Rika's probably going to be pretty pissed about that.
I think it should be over. I would be like, hey, listen, man, you disemboweled me. That's a little too far. Listen, I'll forgive you, but I'm not gonna forget. We're not gonna be hanging out anymore. You go your way, I go my way.
You dragged me back 5 years because you didn't want me to help you study. And then you disemboweled me. So no, it's gonna be a no for me, dog.
Which basically shits all over the entire message of the original, which was just about trusting your friends.
Turns out don't trust your friends because sometimes they're super evil.
Don't trust your friends because they're morons who can't even utilize time loop powers effectively.
Yeah. I don't know. I want to feel bad. She gets a little bit of sympathy because, like, she tried at the beginning, but then she just stopped and was like, I don't know.
Well, like, think about this. She loses it after one loop. Think about how many Rika had to go through, where Satoko's like, well, I tried doing the school thing again, didn't work. Guess I'm just gonna now kill my best friend.
Yeah, I guess the only option.
And think about this. Not only did she make Rika suffer, she killed so many others by injecting them with Hanamizawa syndrome. Didn't have to happen. Didn't have to make everybody else in the timeline suffer.
Yeah, her solution is...
Didn't have to attempt to get Keiichi killed by Teppei.
Yeah. Her solution with time loop powers to this is, I'm going to keep killing her until eventually we get to one where she wants to stay in Hinamizawa. That's it. That's her end goal.
But also, I'm not just going to keep killing her. I'm going to keep killing everybody else.
Fuck it. No one matters. Who cares?
Yeah, all my friends. That's fine if Keiichi dies, if Rena dies, if Mion dies. All fine.
I would argue that means that they're not really your friends, if they're that disposable.
So you know what? Fuck Satoko. This is the official Fuck Satoko podcast. Friendship with Satoko ended. Rika's now my best friend. All my homies hate Satoko.
I mean, it's hard not to. It's totally justified. Like, she has made such a twist.
Like, I do not feel bad for her.
With these poor...
I know they want me to feel bad for her. I do not feel bad.
I want to, but
I want to too, because I genuinely liked her character back in the past.
But that was the past, and this is now.
This is the present. And soon will be the future. So if you want to find out with us if they somehow can pull a Satoko redemption arc
in 3 episodes,
then hit that subscribe button right there if you're on YouTube.
And if you like hearing us rant about how much we hate people and anime and things,
or about spiders,
or about spiders, if you like any of those things,
or
and
Final
you enjoyed
Fantasy 14,
yep, I don't know if you saw, but I did gather. I think I grabbed Shadowbringer's art, and I'm putting.
Yeah, I saw last week, and I'm like, hey, he put that there.
I'm probably gonna annotate it in the description, which is where I put all of the time codes. So yeah, that's a segment, and it deserves its own time code.
But if you like, a segment until he plays it, so it will always be a segment.
So it will always be a segment because it's free content that writes itself.
Yeah, until Endwalker comes out, and then you maybe might play it because new expansion hype. A lot of online communities being like, hey, new thing.
It's fair. If you like any of those things, then the best way to let us know is to A, like the video, or B, reach out to us on socials media.
Yeah, Twitter and Facebook at Protagonist. Follow us on there. Let us know you like our stuff.
Let us know you like our stuff. If you like our OP, then there's a guy, his name's Popskyy. His link's in the description below.
Big Popskyy.
Big Popskyy. He does have a big Papa beard. I think that's everything. I think we cut it down pretty clean. Cool.
Yeah, this was a long episode, even though we cut a show last week.
Yeah, we cut a show and it's still over an hour. But I cut things down a little bit. I streamline it. That's all we got for you this week. Stay tuned to see what we think, see how things develop. And thanks for hanging out.
Can I say it this week?
Go for it.
Class dismissed.